She never thought she needed a gun until her stepfather had her on the ground and was choking her to death. What's up, guys? Ryan here with Tampa Carry, and this video is sponsored by Orion Metals. Make sure you guys check them out. If you haven't already, get some gold, buy some silver. You guys will know the day that I have made it, the day I have achieved ultimate success in my life, is when I have gold teeth. I'm excited. I'm waiting for it, baby. But if you're not investing in gold, gold is always increasing in value. It is a very stable return on our investment. I own a ton of gold, and if you don't, you are missing out. I'm going to leave a link down below to Orion Metals. You can check out some of their consumer reviews. Check out some of their offers online. It is crazy. They got some good deals. You know, recently in the comments, I had somebody that was just making a comment about liberals and how liberals, we should never help them when they're in a violent situation because these gun laws are because of them. Number one, that's nonsense. I meet people every day that tell me they never thought that they would own a gun, need to have a concealed carry permit until, and then fill in that blank. Recently, one of my students who was a very anti-gun person, she didn't believe that people needed guns. She never thought she would need a concealed carry permit until her mother gave her a call one night and said, "Can you come over to my house? I need you to help me get some of my stuff together so that I can leave." Now, being a good daughter, she did that, right? She wanted to help her mom, who was obviously in a fight or an argument with her stepfather. Now, when she arrived, the stepfather was very angry that she came to take the mother away. So the stepfather slammed this girl onto the floor, started choking her until the point that she said she truly thought she was about to die. And it was in that moment that she was being strangled to death that she realized that she could no longer just bury her head in the sand. She could no longer choose to be a sheep. The sheep have this crazy idea that if they pretend hard enough that the wolves don't exist, that the wolves will disappear. We all know that that is nonsense. And this woman's bubble was popped. She buried her head in the sand for years, but on this day, as she's getting strangled, she realized how important it was for her to take her personal safety seriously. Now, the crappy part is she could have died that night. Now, she fought, the mother was fighting on top of this guy, beating him up, scratching him, and eventually he let go. Now, my student grabbed her cell phone to call the police, and the man grabbed the phone and smashed it, and continued to beat up these two women. Thank God they were able to get away and get to a position of safety. What would you do? Now, when we play the what if game, it's always important to kind of think about how the situation could have been avoided. Now, could this have been avoided? Probably not. I mean, it sounds like this young girl, she probably knew that her stepdad was a little bit nuts, right? Obviously, there were some heated issues. I highly doubt this is the first time he'd ever done something like this. But if you're showing up to kind of help your mother get out of that dangerous situation, you really don't have much choice. I mean, if you're a good kid, you're going to go help your mother get out of that violent encounter. So I don't know if the situation could have been avoided. What level of force could have been used? Personally, I would definitely believe that the use or threatened use of deadly force would be justified in this situation because of Florida Statute 790.012, subsection 2. This section states, a person is justified in using or threatening to use deadly force if he or she reasonably believes that using or threatening to use such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or herself or to another, or to prevent the imminent commission of a forcible felony. Is it reasonable to believe that as that bad guy is choking my student, kind of like this, right? Is it reasonable to believe that she might die at any second? I think the answer is yes. And I think the jury would agree with that analysis. Is it reasonable to believe that that attacker is committing a forcible felony, specifically aggravated battery and aggravated assault? I think the answer is yes. And therefore, I think the use or threatened use of deadly force would be justified. Now, this woman didn't have a gun. And she asked me during the class, where and when should I have used my weapon? In my opinion, If that gun was in your appendix position, which is where you should be carrying a gun, in my opinion. So as that bad guy goes to try to choke you, his hands are on your neck, that's that perfect moment with your hands, which you're not doing anything, to reach up, grab the gun, orient it just like this, so the butt is touching your side, that way you know which direction it's pointing, and you simply start letting them rip. Now, where is the line in the sand? I think the line in the sand is as soon as that bad guy put his hands on that young woman's neck. I don't think there was much other choice but to simply pull the gun and use deadly force. But again, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. There's a couple big lessons to learn from this. Number one, you have to carry your firearm 100% of the time you are legally allowed to. If you are not, you are absolutely fooling yourself. I had this woman recently in a class that told me that she only would carry her gun when she felt led to carry her gun. That is idiotic. That is idiotic. Are you going to get a text message to say that you need your gun today? Is an angel going to come and whisper in your ear and say you need a gun today? Maybe, but I'm not counting on that. I would need my gun 100% of the time. So when a violent encounter starts, I know that I can keep myself and my family members safe. These moments go from 0 to 100. And as I've said before, you're either going to be ready and emerge a victor, or you guys are going to be a victim. The choice is yours on which one you want to become. You guys can hear a lot more scenarios just like this inside of my book, Florida Concealed Carry Law, as well as more detailed instructions on how you can play the what if game. This game is essential in you preparing your mind so that you know exactly what to do if. So make sure you pick up a copy. I'll include a link down below. Make sure you guys leave a comment. I want to know what you would have done in this situation. I also want to know how often you carry your gun. Are you carrying your gun 100% of the time, or are you one of the sheep that only carries your gun when you think you're going to need it? Make sure to subscribe, leave a big thumbs up, and until next time, guys, keep training and stay safe.